Why these lines are there? Only one line is in the class, no? Now message me, and then I put you in the waiting room. Just message me on my personal account, on my WhatsApp account of your class group. Then I will allow you. Why these people are disturbing the class? What the use of it? Anyway, so different type of plant. So they are broadly categorized into non-flowering and flowering plants. So non-flowering plants, yes, page number 5050. 50, 5050. Anyway, so they are broadly categorized into two category, that is non-flowering and flowering plants. So non-flowering plants, they produce spore. They not produce seeds. They are actually provides they reproduce by means of spores. So they are not they do not bear seed, and they are, the body is also not complex, means comparatively it's not complex, because this body is just a mass of cells. It's not uh, proper root system and leaf. So this type of body is known as thallus. So this type of body is known as thallus. Thallus means the undifferentiated plant body. Thallus means the undifferentiated plant body. So they do not have the vascular tissue. Vascular means the conducting tissue. They do not have conducting tissue. So their body absorb a nutrient through their body wall, you can say, through the body surface. They are not having the proper vascular tissue. So in that, these non-flowering plant is further divided into algae, liverwort, mosses, and ferns. So they all are the non-flowering plants. And these non-flowering plants, like let's start algae. Algae, they are simple uh, aquatic plants. Algae, they are simple, you can say they are the simplest plants, and their body is undifferentiated. That's why it is called thallus. Thallus, thallus. And they do not bear root, stem, and leaf, means they do not have proper plant body, as the plant is having the root, stem, and leaf. It's not having, it's just a mass of tissue. As you can see in the page number 50, here the liverwort picture is there. In that, is just a mass of tissues are there. and because they are the simplest plants, so they do not have the connective tissue as well. Then liverwort and mosses. Liverwort and mosses, they are the picture I will show you. Hmm. So here on the page number 50, liverwort and moss picture is there, and you can see here in liverwort that it's not developed that proper root and stem and leaf with just a mass of cells, and that's called thallus. So the green structure, 2.18 figure, here the A liverwort is having this green structure that is called thallus. And here you can see in the moss they are they having the they not exactly having the root or stem or the leaf like structure, but they having means their body is little differentiate start differentiating, means they having the root like structure like rhizoids, leaf like structures, and they having the stem like structure as well as the capsule. Capsule is the reproducing body which produce the spores. So in mosses, their little differentiation is started, means their body is differentiated into the three type of structure. They're not exactly like root, stem, or leaf, but they are somewhat like roots, or somewhat like leaf, and the stem like structure. I mean they look like root, leaf, and stem like structure, not the proper leaf or stem or the roots. And they're having the reproductive part is the capsule which produces the spore. So spores are the agent, or the source of reproduction. When each and every spore, when they get the favorable condition, they convert into the young one or the new organism. So tell me, yes, here Zan, tell me, um, what is thallus? Mama Zan, Muhammad Zan, yes. What is thallus? What is thallus? Faria Javed, yes, you tell me, what is thallus? What is thallus? Fatma Rizwan, what is thallus? Yes, am I audible to everyone? So why there is no response when I call student name? Habiba Shahid, yes, tell me what is thallus? Hmm. Undifferentiated plant body means that not bear the roots, stem, and the leaves. It's just a mass of tissue, you can say, and it lacks the vascular tissues as well. Yes, Umar, they do not have. Hmm. They do not have true roots, true leaves, or the stem. So in algae, it's just a mass of cell, but in liverwort or mosses, that this little demarcation is started and little differentiation is starts in mosses. Means in mosses, root like, leaf like, and the stem like structures appear, and there is a reproductive body, reproductive body is also there, that is called capsule. Inside that the spores are there. So here a little differentiation is start in the mosses, but there the proper root is leaves and the stem. They just like. So what's the difference between algae and the moss? If I ask, what you'll say, Muhammad Umar? What's the difference between algae and moss? Hmm. Not only the leaf-like structure, they have the root-like structure called rhizoid. Then they having the leaf-like structure and the stem-like structure as well. Rhizoid function is the same like the root only, means this function to anchor the moss into the soil, and of course it derive nutrient and water from it. So it's function just like root, but it's not well developed as in the higher plants. The root are there. Yes. Yes. Yes, yes. Means well developed leaves are not there. Well developed stem is also not there. Just a thin head like structure is there. It's not a proper stem is there. So they're not having the proper exactly the same root, leaf, or the stem, but they look like. Means a little differentiation is start in the mosses. Mm, If you see the liverwood, there you just the mass of cells is visible. Is just a green mass of tissue is visible. That is called thallus. So mosses are small, soft terrestrial plant and that grow in damp areas forming a velvety green layer. So it forms a velvety green layer on the ground. They are the terrestrial plants. Then then algae means like in algae here the two examples are there. One is the filamentous algae that is Spirogyra, another is unicellular algae that is Chlamydomonas. So claim in that the Spirogyra, the chloroplast is in the spiral form. Here, okay. Here in Spirogyra, that these chloroplast is a spiral in shape, and in the this is unicellular chlamydomonas. In this, the cup shape. What you can say, chloroplast is there. This is this is the chloroplast. This is here. This is all is chloroplast. This is all is chloroplast. Yes, yes, yes. So this is paranoid. This is pyrenoid. Its function to fix the carbon dioxide and to do the photosynthesis. Means is to form the starch to make the food for the organism. And this is nucleus. And these are stigma means eye point, and they are the flagella, which is the locomotory organ. So this is chlamydomonas. What's the spelling of Chlamydomonas? Chlamydomonas. Chlamydomonas. This is Chlamydomonas. And this one is Spirogyra. Spiro, Spirogyra. So in Spirogyra, the chloroplast is in a spiral form and it's having cell wall and chloroplast. Means this is the chloroplast. They are the chloroplast in this. This is the cell wall. Okay. So here in Spirogyra, the chloroplast in the spiral form, and here it is in the cup form. In the Chlamydomonas, this is the chloroplast, and this is a cup form, cup shaped. And it's just a filamentous algae. This is Spirogyra, and it is a unicellular aquatic algae which is having the flagella as a locomotory organ. So example of algae Spirogyra and Chlamydomonas, and example of bryophytes, moss and liverwort. Okay, so these are actually the what you can say primitive or the lower plants, which is are not having means these plants are not having the proper plant body. As I told you that their body plant body the structure is called thallus because it's just undifferentiated plant body. They're not having a proper root, stem, and leaf. So this is all about bryophytes and algae. Then ferns. Ferns are the pteridophytes. Pteridophytes. They are terrestrial plants and have they having the distinct root, stem, and leaf. The proper means they have the difference in the plant body is differentiated into stem, root, and leaf, and they are having the vascular tissue as well. They means the transporting tissues are there for transporting the water and mineral as well as the food. Means the food which is formed in the leaf that has to be transported to the different part of the plant. So yes, am I not audible? Am I not audible? Yes. 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 Am I not audible to everyone? And Muhammad Umar and Habiba, you raise hand. What do you want to say? Want to say something? Okay. So far are actually they are the different means another category that comes under the what you can say this non-flowering plant only we are talking about right now non-flowering plant. So algae, bryophytes, and bryophytes. These mosses and liverworts they are the example of moss and liverwort. They are the example of bryophytes. So algae, bryophytes, and pteridophytes. So right now we are discussing pteridophytes. They are the terrestrial plant, and here the distinction of the different part of the plant body visible. Means the root, stem, and leaves are distinct here. They are the body is differentiated into root, stem, and leaf, and they having the vascular tissue as well, and vascular tissues are the tissue which transport the substances within the plant body. Means from root to the leaf water and mineral, and from leaf to the every part of the plant Food means the food which is formed in the leaf that has to be transported to the different part of the plant, that is transported through the special type of tissue that is known as conducting tissue or vascular tissue. And the leaf of the ferns are known as fronds. Here it's known as FRONDS, fronds. These are the leaves. Here the leaf of the ferns are known as fronds, and they having the means the body is having distinct root, stem, and leaf, and having the vascular tissue as well. So till here we are covered the non-flowering plants. In that, algae, bryophytes, and pteridophytes. And they comes this algae comes in the thallophyta. Now the flowering plant. Flowering plant means the plant which bears seed are known as the flowering plant, which bear the flower and seed. They are known as flowering plant. And they are the complex tissue means they are the well developed body. They're having the distinct root, stem, and leaf. They're having the complex tissue for the conduction of water and mineral and the food as well. Means they're having the proper vascular system, proper conducting tissues. In flowering plants, proper vascular tissues are there. Their function is to transport substances within the plant body, root to the leaf, water and mineral, and from leaf to the different part of the plant. Food means the food which is formed in the leaf that has to be transported to the different part of the plant, because food is needed by the all cell for the respiration, for the energy, for the growth, for the survival. So flowering plant, the most special feature is that they having the well developed, well defined vascular tissues, and proper root, stem, and leaves are there, and they of course produce the seed as well. They having the flowers, and they produce seed. So all flowering plant, they are the complex. They are having complex tissue, that is vascular tissue. There's a proper vascular system is there in the flowering plant. They are further divided into cone bearing and the flower bearing plants. Cone bearing means this the category of plant, they are categorized into two categories, that is some are bearing the cones and other are bearing the flowers. The cone bearing plants have cones, means instead of flower they having the cones. And these cones are actually these the seeds means these cones are producing the spores, and flowers are having seeds. So the flowering plants or the flowers which are they produce the seeds, and these cone bearing plant they produce the spores. They are these cone bearing plants are actually the gymnosperm, means the flowering plant they categorize into the gymnosperm and the angiosperm. Flowering plants are known as the flower bearing plants are known as the angiosperm, and cone bearing plants are known as gymnosperm. Gymno means naked. Here angiosperm and gymnosperm. Angiosperm and gymnosperm. Gymno means naked. Here the seed is naked. Here it is covered. Means inside the means all the flowering plants which produce the seeds. They you must have noticed that in the inside when you eat the fruit, inside that the seed is there. So seed is in covered form, means they are inside the ovary. You can say the ovule which are present in the ovary, they after fertilization they converted into seed and the fruit. So the seeds are covered by the what you can say the ovary, and you can say inside the fruit. The seeds are there inside the fruit because after fertilization, ovule converted into seed and the ovary converted into fruit. So in angiosperm, the seeds are in covered form, and gymnosperm seeds are in the naked form. Okay, so right now we are discussing flowering plants. So flowering plants are categorized into how many categories? Raise your hand. Yes, flowering plants are further categorized into two categories. Yes, tell me the name of the two category. Yes, very good. The cone bearing plants are the gymnosperm. Cone bearing plant are gymnosperm. Cone bearing plants are also known as gymnosperm. And flower bearing plants are, yes, are known as angiosperm. So the flowering plants are categorized into two categories. And cone bearing plants, they have the cones instead of flower. Means as the flowering plants are having the flower, cone bearing plants having the cone, and they bear on their branches, and the seeds are borne on the surface of the cones. Means that they having the cone like a structure. It's like wooden cone like a structure. So on the surface they having the seeds. The seeds are visible. They are exposed and they are visible. And in this, the fruit formation does not occur. Here, the seeds which are present, they are not converted into the fruits. So, fruit formation does not take place in these plants. In the cone bearing plants, the seeds are not converted into the fruit, and they are evergreen plants. They do not shed their leaves. Means they do not shed all leaf at one time. Means they few of the leaves are shed at one time, and this means few are at some time. That's why the whole year these trees are the green only. Means they do not shed all their leaves at one time. Some at one time, then they comes, and then some at other time. Means continuous leaf, few leaves are shed, and as a result the tree is looks green throughout the year. And in this category, when we talk about cone bearing plant, these plants are tall trees. They are actually the tall trees. They are evergreen tall trees, and they do not give fruit. Their seeds are not converted into fruit. They only bear the cones. Got it? An example of cone bearing plant: cycas, pine, and feed. So cycas, pine, and feed are the example of the cone bearing plant gymnosperms.